But remember, a rate question or a payment question is just that, a question. They can't object to anything because they're not in a position to buy the car yet. The only time a customer can object is when you're asking them to buy the car. That's when you can get an objection. But these are legitimate questions.
Yeah.
Okay? And could the answer stop the process? Well, it could. If you got me on too much vehicle, yeah, it could. But I'm going to guess you're professional enough to have a pretty good clue as to what I can afford, based on what I've paid in the past, how I come off. But the fact that you didn't know the average car payment was $787 tells me that you need to be a bit more clued in, because your job's to educate the customer. Okay, are Subaru customers better educated than some other factories' customers? I would probably say yes. But at the same time, Subaru customers tend to keep their vehicles longer, which means they don't buy very often, which means that they're not very good at buying, okay? What I mean by that is, look, you'd have to be living in a cave not to know that interest rates have skyrocketed in the last 12 months, or 24 months. You'd have to be in a cave not to know that inflation is at historic highs, okay? The last time inflation was this high, I was a finance manager. And if you had good credit and I could get you bought on a new car, you know what your interest rate was?
17, 18%.
19.6. If you bought a used car, you were in the mid-20s. That's if you had good. That's okay if I could get you bought. Okay. Now let's hope that
the car was only $6,000.
The most expensive Honda I sold was $7,000.
Yeah, exactly.
The most expensive BMW was $15,000. The most expensive Pontiac was $9,500.
There is some relative to that as well.
Well, but think
But
about
you weren't
this.
making the money either.
But think about this. If interest rates went back to where they were in 1980 or 81, we'd be dealing with cash customers only. Because the average balances then were probably $5,000.
Yeah.
Now they'd be $45,000 or $35,000, $40,000.
It's like picking up credit card debt.
Exactly.
When you're at that kind of a rate.
Exactly. So, my point is this: customer's going to be in for payment shock. I'm going to guess that everybody you delivered, like I already said, you're delivering people the highest payment they've ever had. So, we have to handle the question in a manner that keeps the deal moving forward. I want to be completely honest with the customer, and I don't want to play dumb. I've had dealers say, my salespeople have gotten too smart for their own good. Back when they were really dumb, I said, you know what? If I'm spending $40,000 on a car, I don't want to deal with a dumb son of a bitch. I want someone who's smart. So, I think it's important that we educate the customer. Somewhere in the qualifying part of the sales process, I want to let the customer know what the average car payment is.
Okay.
Just to judge their reaction. If I say if the average car payment is $787 and they say, well, I'm looking for $300, we got a problem. Now, I doubt that's going to happen very often here because you don't deal with a lot of subprime credit here.
Not on the new side, yes, definitely. Still,
maybe
we're getting more on our $9,000 cars. That's a new adjustment.
As you will.
For this store, I was like, wow, haven't seen that for a while. So wait, you mean I have to have a job?
Exactly. So, how could we answer the question honestly? Actually, how could we help the customer answer their own question? Ask me what the interest rates are.
What are the interest rates right now?
Great question. Can't tell you. Now, I'm not trying to play dumb here. There's 6 or 7 factors that go into what your interest rate's going to be. Price of the car, trade equity or negative equity, cash down, term, lender, your credit score. Okay, I don't have access to any of that. All right, but here's what I do know. We sell around 200 vehicles a month here. This is the number of people that have to use one of our finance sources. And that's a 0, meaning nobody has to use one of our finance sources, but 70% choose to. What's that tell you about our ability to get a good rate?
I like that, yeah.
By the way, is it the truth?
Absolutely.
Does anybody have to use one of our lenders?
Yeah.
Heck no. Ask me about the payment.
What would a payment on something like that be?
Well, I told you earlier that average payments are $787. Okay, I don't know what the payment's going to be on this one, and the reason I say I don't know what the payment's going to be on this one is because I don't know. There's 7 factors that go into determining what the payment will be. There's loan to value, there's term, there's interest rate, there's your credit score, there's the equity you bring to the table, there's the price of the vehicle. There's a bunch of stuff, but I tell you who does know that. Our finance department's got 112 years worth of experience between the 3 of them, okay? They will be able to give you all that information, and I can tell you this for a fact, no one has ever left here with a payment they didn't want, okay? So we'll get to that later. If they push me. Say, no, Steve, read my lips. I ain't moving until I know what my payment's gonna be.
Yeah. So basically, you're not going to tell me what the payment is. You want me to go give all my credit, and you can't tell me.
It's not that I'm not going to tell you. It's that I can't tell you. However, if you want to know what the payment is before we move forward, I've got a solution to that problem too. Okay? What I'd like to do is I'm going to go grab Tim or Susan or JB, and I'm going to have them come out here and go over exactly how it works for you. Cool?
Yeah, all right.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you have the confidence necessary to turn your customer over to a finance manager at that point in the process?
I don't have an issue with that. Where I'm seeing where we're going to run into challenges, where we're running into issues, it's fine for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's tough on a Saturday.
Yeah, you're 100% of you have said that to me.
And it's more the timing. I believe customer excitement, intention is all better. The quicker we can make that process, the more profitable it is for all of us.
Completely agree.
And when there's a stack of 3 deals going, how long can I stand in front of a customer? When you can see it fading. I can do a delivery, I can do lots of things. That's, like I said, I'm all good. I worked at a store where I signed the best deal sheet, and it was a blank piece of paper, and then turned around and I gave them a sticker and did trade difference. So I can trade difference. That's not that big of a problem for me. I thought I liked payments because it was a different area to close. But I also liked closing with cushion and rate. And I still didn't give that up when I was doing it. So,